Wayne, thank you for having us today, taking time out of your busy schedule. Um, Took us a few tries to get here, but
This
you're
time
some
of the
man
year.
himself.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity, and we hope we can contribute towards the success of this new venture.
I'm pretty sure you will. Look, every single episode very different. Um, I've wanted to interview you from the start. I think you've got an interesting story to tell. So let's start there. Look, I started. I met you first time when you were in George. You had Tex. Other than that, I have no info about you. So tell us a bit about where you come from, when you had your first bike, what bike it was, and what happened for you to get involved by this whole motorcycle industry.
So I'm gonna have to try and keep it short. We can go on for long, but we've got limited time. So, first bike was a Pee-wee 50 for my 3rd birthday, pink of color. Didn't have a choice at that stage. Yeah, that's where we started, and after that, I have to think carefully now. After that, I actually moved on to quad bikes and moved on to a blaster. So there was a time lapse where my brother had a RT 100, which you hardly ever see anymore. That got passed down to me. That was my first clutch and gears
There we go.
motorcycle. And then, there was a bit of a lapse of 3-4 years. My dad had a DT 125. We used to jump on it, go ride in the bush when you could still do that. And from there, I moved on to a Blaster 200. That was more or less the time when the Bike SA in Namibia Desert Run series started, and that sort of became a tradition for us to do the Desert Run as a family every year.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did 3 of them, 2 with a Blaster, 1 with a Banshee 350, and then moved, well, in between there, otherwise at 85. But when we got to Namibia and we Swakopmund dunes, the quads are just more fun on the dunes. I mean,
of course.
everyone begs to differ, and right now I don't ride quads at all anymore. I think the whole market's shifted away from quad bikes, but
I think what happened maybe, or what I've noticed, is a lot of people started seeing quad bikes as being super dangerous because of the whip it can give you when not,
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, have you had any near?
With quads, yeah, the thing is, a quad doesn't go away from you; it comes with you.
Yeah.
So when you fall, it follows you. But yeah, I had great times on both, and then moving on a few years later, schoolboy stage, got onto a CBR 125, the standard procedure, and at
Your
that
first
stage,
legal bike.
yeah, first legal bike.
Yeah.
At that stage, my father was involved at BMW Motorrad in Centurion. So on the odd pre-18, I had the opportunity to ride one or two bigger bikes. We actually did that same route as the Desert Run, but independently. I had an 800 GS at that stage. A group of 6 of us. There was even a 1200 RT in the mix.
Wow.
He lost his panniers along the way, but he made it to the end. And he was converted after that to GS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say that's sort of where the dual purpose lifestyle started. Got my 800 GS. It was my commuter to varsity and back, and weekends played around at Rhino Park, which is like an enduro loop in Gauteng. Yeah, really did pretty much anything with that bike. Moved on to a 1200 GS after that, and that's just my choice of riding style.
Stop.
The road bikes, I'll jump on one, when we do a product launch, or went with BMW, so we'll get to that. At that stage, we went to Portugal for the launch of the S1000RR. Great experience. I love MotoGP, anything motorsport, Dakar, but my personal preference is just dual purpose. I think it's just unrestricted, and there's so much more to see.
Yeah, the thing is, Yeah, I think once you've been on an adventure bike, it's really difficult to get onto a super bike or speed bike or anything road related.
Yeah.
I think your mindset changes to having your adventure bike, and a second bike would be a touring or any other bike.
Yeah, Harley, Vespa.
Oh, Vespa,
Yeah.
which you guys sell in
Yeah.
shop, yeah? And the Vespa, actually, let's talk about that quickly. Vespas used to be really super expensive old bikes.
Still
And then,
are.
when did they relaunch the new Vespas? When did that start happening? Because it's big now.
It's big. So Vespa, I don't have the exact dates. So we also jumping forward a bit. But in 2016, when I started Tex Motorcycles, we became Vespa agents. At that stage, the previous importer distributor had it for about 12 years.
Okay.
Before that, it was sort of just a private import. So a couple of guys got together, imported a few units amongst themselves, not really for retail sake.
Yeah.
And there were a few independent workshops. So the real dealership structure, probably early 2000s, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date, like I said, but it's just grown over time. I think very lifestyle orientated. Same for GS, although it's linked to the brand, so the BM guys. Although dual purpose is a thing that you can get together 20 bikes, mix of bikes,
Yeah,
bit of
doesn't
banter,
matter, yeah.
but you're doing the same thing and the same experience. With Vespa, there's other brands that are similar but not the same, and it's just you've got to have a Vespa.
Yeah. And the Vespas are awesome. I mean, look, I'm going to make it look small, but it's going to be strong enough to...
But it'll carry you.
Exactly.
And it's capable.
Yeah.
And that's the real thing, is it still has that Italian thoroughbred heritage and reliability.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few companies that use them as fleet bikes.
Okay.
And they run them, they generally change their fleets at 80,000 Ks.
Sure.
And then they're still good to go. It's not that it needs overhauls.
A good second-hand bike that's done long roads, and that's it.
So very capable and still expensive, but what's not expensive. So if that's your thing, we've got a lot of customers, especially along the Garden Route, Neisner, Plet, which some are also foreigners, so they have them back home, and it is very good weather lifestyle bike, coffee shop hopping. There's a couple of variants, the VXL 150, which is a base model, and then goes right up to which is now GTS 310, ABS, fuel injected, all the jazz.
Probably fast as hell.
Yeah, it's got a decent top end, but capable of doing 130 on national highways.
There we go. That changes things a bit. Okay, Wayne, so we jumped the boat a little bit. So let's get back to your story.
Yeah, so high school and then starting with a big bike sector. So I actually after school went to study hospitality management. Had that dream of owning a hotel, working somewhere in the Bahamas. And
I can see you owning a hotel.
And
got the personality.
I had to find something that integrates a bit of hospitality because the retail sector just caught me.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And so what happened was I studied my 2 years and the third year is practical. So I had to go do housekeeping, F&B management and reception night shift. 6 months in, I just thought, surely there's a different way I can do my marketing practical. So went to my dad and said, look, can I not come and help at Bavarian Motorcycles, and this is my marketing and the business management side of things. And in that 6 months, I think I was just hooked onto the love of biking, but also the retail aspect of it. I went through all departments, so did my time in parts, because that's just the way it works. If you want to work here, you've got to cover all departments, and thankfully I did, because today that's essential for managing the whole place.
I mean, basically, whenever someone phones you on your cell phone, not even on a business line, you're hands-on, you know exactly what you're talking about, you know what you've got in stock and what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And that just helps so much more.
Technical knowledge, not the best. I mean, I wouldn't overhaul a motor myself, but The basics I'm sure I'll cover, but I've got the network over time. If I can't answer it, I'll get the answer for you. And yeah, I think that takes us back to, I spent 3 years at BMW in Centurion, Motorrad, and then got transferred. There was a position available at BMW in George. We were starting our family, and I just thought that this would be a better place to raise a family.
For sure.
And yeah, I started at BMW in George in January of 2013. And that's really where I grew my network in George. Met most of my customers still today. That all the loyalty, the network of other bike shops, other mechanics, other suppliers, and I think we've just built on that over the years. And I was there until March of 2016, when new bike sales already back then started slowing down, and I sort of saw scope for, which was big elsewhere in the country, but nowhere here was anyone focusing on the used bike sales, and got my resources together and took the plunge to start Tex Motorcycles, which was not brand affiliated at all, other than Vespa, which came along a bit later as a sub brand. It wasn't really a core brand. And yeah, we just grew from strength to strength.
If I remember correctly, Tex was the first proper motorcycle shop in George. There were a few other ones existing already, but you had like this beautiful shop front.
Yeah, that's
all the
what I
bikes
say.
you can think of.
Took the plunge, much like, we'll get to it, what I did here again. You know, I just, naturally, people try and accommodate their scale of business into the size of the building that they take on.
Yes.
And you know, if you scale the bike industry, you really don't need a big premises. But when opportunity comes around, like we'll discuss later, you need to have the facility to grow.
Yeah.
Because if you establish in a place and you move away from that place, you know, you lose 30% of that traction that you've built up. So fill up the space initially with spacing out the bikes. But I mean, we are at George Yamaha now, we are just short of 24 months of trade. In February next year, 24 months.
Which for George is brilliant.
Yeah.
This place is one of the most difficult business-orientated towns in the country, if not in the world.
Starting Tex Motorcycles, the amount of people that came in there saying, "Oh, we'll buy from you if you're still around in a year's time," and you know, I just eliminate the white noise and got us to where we are today. And the shop itself, we'll speak about just now again. But so Tex Motorcycles up until September of 2019. I got an opportunity to move over to BMW Motorrad in New Zealand.
That's awesome, mate.
So again, at that stage, our family had grown, the kids were a bit older, and reconsidered. I'm always an opportunist. So even till today, if I spot something, I'm going to go and check it, try avenues, all avenues. So that opportunity surfaced. We thought, look, for the kids' future, and for myself, just in the world spectrum of things, it'll just might be a better opportunity. But yeah, at that stage it was just felt like the right thing to do. And as we all know, what came our way in 2020, the big C.
So COVID hit you guys whilst you were in New Zealand.
Yeah, but at that stage, so in December of 2019, some guys came along and sort of just popped in at the shop and said they're considering opening a shop in George. And my dad had then stepped in and ran the store for me while I was over there. Just we weren't sure what the long-term plan would be, you know, sell it or keep it going, or what if I come back? It was always a looming thing. But in December, when they came along and sort of my dad phoned me and said, "Oh, what do you want to do?" So I said, "I'm not coming back. So there's no point. If you don't want to do it, just let go." And they came to an agreement, and they took over pretty much December of 2019. So yeah, they had to go through some really hard times. It wasn't easy for anyone, but in March of 2020, due to unforeseen circumstances and family matters, we ended up coming back, and end of Feb, sorry, and it was supposed to be temporary, which COVID came along and we couldn't get back over, and I had to re-enter within 6 months, and I just couldn't leave my family behind. 6 months is a long time, so we had started life again and bought a car, rented a place, and then it was like I can't just get out of everything here now again, and just took the decision to call it a day. Started looking for opportunities again in South Africa, buying, selling on the side, and that's when the Yamaha opportunity came along. Fast forward 3 years, in August of 2023, I was approached by the previous Yamaha
franchise
of George, if it's something I'd consider, because we've been working together, like I say, over the years. We've all got to know each other, and they all knew I was trying to get something going, and they just thought it would be best in my hands.
So basically, your good relationship that you've built with the other companies paid out,
which is still ongoing, which I think shows, as we sit here, that George is a small place, and we all, most of us, are all very work well together, and
which is good,
so there's a whole bunch of names, but I mean, it's each one's got their own field, and that's how Yamaha came across, and obviously I had to apply, and I wouldn't say Yamaha was doubtful of a younger person taking on something that big, but I managed to convince them, and they granted it, and so it was granted to me in August of 2023, but I hadn't had a premises yet, so we did temporary trade out of the previous premises, and this popped up, and initially everyone was like, whoa, this is just way too much. It's, because I had Soltex motorcycles, I don't have that name anymore. So I had to now start it as Yamaha, but it would never be viable as just Yamaha. The volumes, like I said earlier. So a big part of my plan was to focus on the used bikes again, but because I can't get Tex motorcycles, which today is different, I had to have a core brand. I had to have a name on the front of the building. I have my name, and which is a great contributing factor, but just the trust. It took Tex motorcycles a good 5 years to be trusted by the public. Buying elsewhere, I would say 70% of our sales, even now, are all over the country outside of George. And that's a trust thing. You've got to be able to pay a substantial amount of money into an account and hope you get
what you're looking for,
what you were promised. And
look, your quality of bikes, it's super high. I've looked at all your bikes, and we've actually spoken about you buying some bikes in, and you immediately just told me, just listen, not interested. So, I mean, literally, and you'll see this on the video, I'm going to show it now, is the bikes that's in here is all premium quality, and it's beautiful. And actually, it's like a bloody pawn shop in here. If you walk in here, and I've told this to so many people, if you walk in here and you walk out of here and you don't have anything, you're not looking for a motorbike. Or
leave us your number and we'll find you what you're looking for.
Exactly, but, and you've done that before, and there's many people. I mean, let's go back to when you started Yamaha. I heard Yamaha shop opening here. I was doubtful. I was like, I don't know about that. And then I heard it's you, and I'm like, oh well, there we go. That's going to work, and it did. So I think the trust in you, and I've heard this from all the other local bikers as well. A lot of them, because we all discussed it. And we knew what the transition was. No one understood the mechanics of it.
Yes.
But everyone said, Wayne's running, it's going to be awesome. And it is. I mean, look at this place. It's beautiful.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I've already strict parameters on used bikes. Unfortunately, some people, when it comes to trade-ins and they're high mileage or they're older than our parameters, I have to walk away. I try and make a plan. There's other people that deal with that. But it does upset some people. But, I'm strict on those parameters, and that's got us to where we are.
Now my GS is not going to make it.
We could clean it up. We can try.
Dude, it's not going to make it. I promise you. It's not going to go into your shop. I might park it in front of you and take a nice photo, and that's about
I'll
it.
send you a good referral.
Yeah. Okay, let's move forward quickly. You guys got some exciting news of a new brand coming in, which I think is brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of work in the background. I go back to the fact that the new retail's on a steady decline. It's flattered over the last 3 years post-COVID.
Yeah.
But there's no growth. So the only way you really grow, other than the used bikes, which I would love to have more bikes on the floor,
Of course.
but because of my own parameters, it's really hard to find that stock, and we just don't deviate from those things. So the next best thing to do, so we are Yamaha agents, and we've obviously got Vespa back in store since I parted ways with Tex and I restarted Yamaha. It was just a phone call, and it was because, again, good references, we ended on good terms, and I got Vespa back on board. And Yamaha also is now the importer and distributor of TVS motorcycles, which is made in India. So we have that offering in store as well as Kymco. Kymco, mainly quad bikes and side-by-sides for the agricultural sector. And I just had to start thinking of, what else? And something that a lot of people it's been on a lot of people's tip of their tongue, like, is to get KTM back to George.
Yeah.
It was here many, many years ago. And it's something we tried over the years, but just couldn't get to the negotiations. And I'm happy to say we finally managed to secure that.
Which is brilliant news.
As of 1 November, actually, authorized full KTM dealer. At this stage, we are only servicing parts and workshop. A bit of delay with shop fittings out of Austria, but by end of January we'll be fully functional retail, motorcycles, sales, apparel, workshop parts. So that's something exciting, something we're really going to drive on and get involved in the community with events. It's also a big thing we do. We try and get involved in a lot of stuff, all the local festivals. Neisner's got an Italian festival, we take Vespa there. Karoo 62, we're doing quite a bit with them next year. We're busy with the calendar now.
That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome news, eh? Because the KTM brand got a massive knock when they moved out of George. And you had a lot of second-hand KTMs here.
Yes.
But the new KTM market here died.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, unfortunately, here that would rather have a new KTM.
Yeah, but with no backup and support, you got to think twice.
Yeah.
So now that's back, and we'll have a full range of demos. So yeah, end of Jan 26, we'll be up and running.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like. It's just going to make it so much more. Like there's not really anything on the market. Your T700 Yamaha sounds amazing, but I mean KTM engine sound is brilliant. It's beautiful, and also the look of it is aggressive.
Ready to race. They live by their motto. Yeah. So, I mean, my heritage is blue. Obviously, it was my first bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at the international racing scene, from MotoGP to the hard enduros, they are the leaders of the pack.
And you've got to trust what you sell.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to. I mean, you won't take a brand on, and it's going to bite you in the ass.
No, I have to sell what I'd be willing to ride.
Yes.
Daily. So.
No, I'm spot on.
That's it, and that's the next chapter as we move into the new year. Other than that, we're grateful for all the support we've had over the last, call it 2 years, getting this shop up and running. But now we're stepping up a gear and going into the next chapter.
That's awesome. You've been talking about a decline in the motorcycle industry. What do you think is our way of going forward in the future with motorcycles?
Well, we really got to turn it around the only way we're going to get this to grow, it's how I started riding. So my dad rode, and it was his passion to get me riding. And that's why I got a PV50. You know, my mom didn't say, let's go buy Wayne a PV50. So there are, today, there's a lot of ladies involved in the sport, which is great.
Yeah.
If you can do it as a family, mom, dad, kids, everyone, if you can do cycling, why not?
It's even better. Yeah.
So to answer that question is, we as parents and as a biking community really need to drive the youth, because the youth will drive the industry.
Yeah.
And that's also a big factor when it comes to KTM as well as Yamaha. Yamaha's got the Blue Crew division, which grants, on certain parameters, they grant budgets towards youth development, and they send them overseas, some on road bikes, some on
cool.
MX. So there's criteria for that, and KTM is also very big on youth. Each dealer sort of has a budget to work with to contribute towards youth. And obviously we have the model lineup for that. Obviously kids under 16 cannot ride any road legal bikes, so it's better to go learn in the bushes where you're out of harm's way. Well, if you stay on the ground. But yeah, so from PV50, TTR 110s, which we actually did the slow race with the other day, great little bike, semi-automatic, no clutch. And then you move up to the YZ65s, YZ85, 125, 250s, 450, and likewise for the KTM sector, they got SX50, SX65, and yeah, it's really part of our plan next year to get involved at the Fearless compound, the track just outside on the old airport road here in George. I have been in communication with the...
Is that still open or is it closed at the moment?
It's still open.
Okay.
It's still open weekdays. Not Sundays, because it's a private farm. So
people can contact you if they want to go there.
There's a WhatsApp group. Maybe we can share the link on.
Yeah, I'll share that link on
the video.
Yeah.
And we really want to get the facilities up and running there, along with the other dealers in George. You know, Honda, they've also got a good offering, and I just think everyone should be involved. It's not something I want any exclusivity to, but it's a part of our plan from Yamaha and KTM side to really get facilities there and get families wanting to come there on a Friday or Saturday. Obviously in the week it's a bit harder, but it's something we want to do to help get the youth involved, because that's the only way we're going to get this going forward. You know, when the kid turns 18 and dad's still riding, if dad doesn't ride bike or doesn't incentivize it, why would the son or daughter buy a 800 GS or buy a T7 or unless the friends are riding. But you know, if dad's friends are riding, then the sons will be riding.
Yes.
And you got to build the community. It's not a solo sport. Well, it is to a degree, but it needs. So the long and the short is we need to drive the youth, keep them engaged, keep the passion alive, and that will keep the industry alive.
There we go. I think that's where we're going to end it, because that's exactly what it is. We need to get the kids involved. I mean, my son is 15, big kid, he rides my 1200. He shouldn't. But I mean, there's no opportunities for him actually to go in places. They ride in the bushes, which is not safe because we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
So getting the track sorted, getting a larger track for them to ride with the semi-deal bikes would be awesome as well. But I think that's happening. It's going to happen.
We'll be there to back it and take it forward and keep going and keep growing.
All right, thanks, man. So, Wayne, thank you so much for taking the time to, chat on the channel. I think this was a very informative, awesome chat. The viewers is going to find this really interesting. And I mean, if there's any questions on the channel under Biker Dudes, there's a comment section. So anyone that's watching, you can pop a comment there. I'll send you the link for Wayne's number or WhatsApp, and then you can ask them straight out. And if there's any of the bikes you've seen in the video that you're interested in, just give them a call. I mean, Wayne's very open to business. He literally answers any time of the day or night if he can. And come have a look here. There's beautiful stuff here. I'm going to take some videos. I'm going to send it on, share it on the videos now as we talk. And that's about it, man. Thank you so much.
I'll share our links, and any questions, any advice, we're happy to help.
There we go. Thank you.
Back dudes, back dudes.